chat here, and we'll start bringing people in. We're just going to skip the whole video. We're just going to skip that part. And we're just going to get right into it. Woo! That was fun. Okay.
YouTube, right?
So those who are just joining in and asking the question, the Zoom link is pinned at the top. If you want to join in on this conversation on Zoom. So it's pinned at the top. We'll have Donnie coming in here in a little bit. He's out for Stu Headley's birthday party. Stu turned 99 yesterday. He's our buddy from Pearl Harbor. But right now we are on with the Howard Buford, 101st Airborne. Howard, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm here.
So Howard turned 99 in August, correct?
Right. Yeah, I did.
That's nothing to scoff about. That's pretty hardcore. 99. Pretty impressive. And then this is Ronald Stassen coming to us from the Netherlands. And he is a member of our team and does a lot of the research for us and does the battlefield tours over there. So Ronald, introduce yourself.
Okay. Good evening all. My name is Ronald Stassen. I'm a battlefield guide for Berchtesgaden and for the Battle of the Bulge most of the time.
Nice.
So that's just a quick note.
Nice. So we got everything worked out now, and we're just going to start bringing people in. So let's start off here with, let's see if Donnie's in here yet. Oh, let's bring our buddy Ron in. I know it's late for him, so let's have Ron come in.
God, it is late for Ronald, isn't it?
Well, it's late for all Rons here. Ronald Stassen and Ron. Ron is in Spain.
Oh.
So can you see Ron there, Howard?
Not really. I see me and I see you.
Should I guess now?
I can hear
you. I
Ron.
can hear. Oh, here on now I see somebody.
There you go.
Okay.
All
I'm
right,
gonna ask
Ron,
now.
You are on with Howard Buford.
So my first question is, if you were afraid of getting captured when you
afraid
were
of being captured?
Yes.
No, I don't think any of us ever thought about that. I tell you what, when there's action going on, you don't think about anything but that.
About the action that's in front of you?
Yeah. I don't recall anybody ever mentioning worry about being captured. Now, one of my buddies, close friends, got captured. We had outposts around the little town of Bizri, and we had a German combat patrol come in, and it was a firefight. And when it was all over, he was gone. The Germans had taken him, but I don't think anybody ever talked about it.
Wow. Yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. Like, where does your fear lie the most? Like, what are you most afraid of?
You know, it's funny. When you're in combat, it has all your attention. But you can put a bunch of young GIs about every once in a while, every few days they'd give us a chance to pull back maybe a quarter of a mile where we could build a fire and get warm. We didn't talk about the war. We talked about girls. I mean, it's just human.
Very good thing to keep your focus on, eh?
Well, it got your mind off. Yeah. And, I don't have it here right now to show you. I don't know if I could, but at one time when we were back about, quarter of a mile, I imagine, and we'd build a fire, some German artillery came over, but it was blowing up way up in the air. And all of a sudden, all this paper was flying down. And I salvaged one of them. I had to tape it together, but it's got a picture of a woman in her lingerie and a guy, and then on the other side, it has a little thing. What they were trying to do was damage our morale by making married men think, whoa, wonder what my wife is doing.
Oh, interesting. Interesting tactic.
Yeah.
Wow. Like Ron's got his VDF hat on there.
Yes, and the shirt here.
Nice.
Another question?
Yes.
He's got another one.
And what was your task in the Airborne?
What was what?
What was your task in the Airborne?
Well, I was on a machine gun.
Now, did you have to fly in with that machine gun on your person?
Well, I didn't jump with it. We went into
or jump in. That's what I meant. Jump in.
Truck, and it was if you look at movies, you see people see them firing a machine gun. They're kind of squatting, and it's on a tripod. The machine guns we had had a bipod on the front, a shoulder adapter on the back, and you were lying prone when you were firing it.
Okay. Interesting. How heavy was that machine gun?
Well, it depended on how long you were carrying it. The further you went, the heavier it got. Now, you could carry it on your shoulder and put it, say, on your right shoulder, your right hand holding it, and then you would have another extra box of ammunition. Because what a lot of people don't think about, you watch a movie, for instance, and you see the machine guns firing away, but the ammunition has to come from somewhere. So you carry it. And the trouble, you can't carry enough all by yourself, so you have to have other members of your squad carrying it too. Well, they didn't want to carry it either because it's heavy. So
yeah,
if you got in a prolonged firefight, you could run out of ammunition.
Dang. How many rounds in a clip? You remember?
Well, it was a little metal container that carried a belt of ammunition. Yeah. And it's hard for me to remember, but it was about a foot square, the way I remember. But hell, that's 75 years ago. My memory's getting bad. My body's old and my memory is fading, so.
Yeah, but you're doing really good for 99, man.
Still going strong, right?
Yeah, I feel like you could outrun me for sure. Mm-hmm. That's not really hard to do, though. Ron, you got one more for him?
No.
All right.
It.
Hey, well, listen, it was nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Great to see you again, Ron.
Take
Go to bed. It's late. It's late over there.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock now.
Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. You can watch a movie before you go to bed. All right. Well, thanks for coming by, Ron.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Ron.
Hold on.
All right. Donnie's here. Donnie, can you hear us? And he disappeared just like that. Interesting. Where'd he go? I don't know. All right. Let's have somebody else come in. Let's see. There, we got Connor. Connor's in the building. So if this is the Connor I'm thinking of, this kid's in Louisiana, I believe. Let's see some of the questions here.
It's not popping up, right?
Brad asked on here, Howard, what was your fondest memory of the war?
Fondest?
The fondest, your favorite memory.
I think you ought to be asking the other, what was the worst?
I'm sure somebody will ask what the worst is, but what was your fondest? We'll start off real nice.
Of the war itself?
Of your time in the war, like when your time over there.
Well, I don't know that there's any fond memories of being in actual combat. I mean, certainly I was in the Pathfinders, and near the end of the war, they put us in a a little town. My French pronunciation is terrible, but Chartres, I think it was called, out a big casino there. But we had passes to Paris all the time, so that was a big deal.
Yeah.
But now, don't ask me what we did there, because we didn't see any museums.
Well, that's right. One of our guys in the chat said, "Let's keep it PG."
Yeah, I guess that's a good idea.
We're talking to kids here. We should have an adult time sometime and talk about the crazy stuff you guys did during the war. Yeah, that'd be fun.
But the worst part of Bastogne was the cold. I mean, I was on the machine gun. There was two of us on the machine gun, and one day all of a sudden he wasn't there, and he didn't get shot, because if that had happened, it would have been right beside me. So he had to have gotten frostbite. I mean, people just kept disappearing because some of us somehow survived, but a lot of guys were really damaged by the cold.
Oh, wow. Dylan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, good evening.
Hi, Dylan.
Hello, Howard. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Love it. Dylan, tell Howard where you're from and how old you are.
Well, I'm from the UK and I'm 17.
Hey, good for you. Got a great future, I'm sure.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Dylan.
So, Howard, my first question is, what made you decide the Airborne?
I don't know that there was ever any conscious thinking about it. I just knew I wanted to be in the Airborne. And for me, it was tough getting in because they didn't let me go from where I was. But I can't tell you exactly why. I just knew I wanted to be there.
Nice.
Yeah. And did you join from 1942 or did you join in a bit later?
No, you know what happened? It was really odd. I was in an infantry outfit, 97th Infantry Division, and they didn't want to let me go. So I would keep pressuring the first sergeant, and he'd finally let me go to division headquarters and make an application. And then they'd stall, and then they'd finally let me take a physical. Then they'd stall me, and then they'd finally say, well, it had been too long since the application had been put in. And so they finally, my sergeant just told me he was tired of hearing me bellyache, and he put me in a group of recruits, and we went overseas. I went overseas as the infantry, but when I got to England, they had us go out on the parade ground and ask if anybody wanted to be an airborne. So I went to the jump school in England.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy.
But why I wanted to be there, that's a tough question. I just don't know.
Just meant to be.
Hey, Howard, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
You're looking good. Looking good at 99.
Well,
looking good.
Well, I wish I looked more like that young man I was just talking to.
Yeah. Which one, Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Dylan's still here. I think Howard can only see like whoever's talking.
Oh, I see. I see.
I can see.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, Howard. So you did your jump training in England. You remember what base it was?
It was outside of Reading. It was called Mormalone, I think. No, that's different. You know what? I can't remember the name of that small town where we were. It was a small. They put me after jump school. They put me in the 501st, and the 501st was already over across the channel, and so we were in a small camp for a few weeks. But damn it, I can't remember the name of that town.
Ronald, maybe you know.
Well, that's
Ronald.
75 years. You got to give me a little leeway here. For
Exactly.
Sorry. I can't provide you with the answer. I don't know. A
You don't
Montmelon
know,
is
Ronald?
France? No, I don't know.
Come on, Ronald. I thought you knew everything.
No,
We thought
sorry.
you knew everything, Ronald.
Sorry.
We thought you knew everything.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Ben Harper says you don't look a day over 40, Howard.
Well, I'm happy to have Ronald's help in any kind of remembering.
Yeah, Ronald's great. I mean, he has all the facts and and all the times and everything. It kind of helped triggers that those memories for sure.
Well, I was glad he was with us when we went to Visery because the only thing I could remember there was that white church. Everything else seemed different.
Yeah. I would imagine just with the terrain itself being that you were there when it was completely covered in snow, and that's probably the only thing that would stand out is the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we had outposts around that town, little village of Visery, but I'll swear to God, I thought when I went there, I was going to walk right to where I had been, and I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, Dylan, you got any other questions?
Yeah, so I just have one more. It's just what did you think about the Germans? Was it like when you first heard of what Hitler was doing, building the army? Did you think like, oh, I want to get in, I want to kill Germans, and is that why you joined, or do you have some sort of mutual respect for them?
I don't think there was any personal animosity. We certainly thought what the Germans were doing in the countries like the Netherlands where they had invaded, that we resented that. But I don't think we ever thought of personal animosity towards Germans. But part of that might be because we came from overseas. We hadn't been subjected to their behavior or cruelty or whatever you want to call it. So no personal animosity.
It's an interesting thing to think about, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange question. I wasn't too sure how to answer that.
Yeah,
you kind of get a little bit of a mixed reaction depending on who you're talking to with that same question.
Yeah, because a lot of other veterans have different opinions about it.
Well,
sure.
I'm sure they do, but I don't think I never felt personally offended. I mean, I rejected what they did. I thought what they were doing was terrible. I was glad we were there, but it was never anything personal about it for me.
Yeah. Oh, we lost you.
Howard, did your phone fall over?
My phone is right there, but it's got I hate to tell you this, guys, but it says low battery.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a cord?
Yeah, hang on there.
No problem at all. No problem at all.
Funny, I sent him a text like 2 hours ago saying, make sure your phone is fully charged. That you probably didn't see the text.
Hey, we're live, Sometimes that happens.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, no, sorry I'm late, guys. It was Stu Headley's 99th birthday today, and I got to tell you how amazing it was. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch our live video on Instagram and Facebook, but there was hundreds and hundreds of cars and flags and signs and the fire department, the police, honor guard. I mean, the motorcycles. I mean, it was just really incredible.
That's awesome.
Really incredible. And there's a veteran there, Clayton, another Pearl Harbor survivor. He's 103 years old, lives here in San Diego.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I mean, it was wonderful. It was a great day. It's about 80 degrees out here in California and San Diego, and it was just wonderful. I took the Jeep down there, drove the Jeep about 30 miles down to his house, and it was wonderful. And we're going to be uploading a little small video because 99-year-old Stu Headley got behind the driver's seat of the Jeep and drove around the block.
Nice.
There you are, Howard.
There you
go. I got it plugged in.
All right, good. Uh-oh. There you are. Perfect.
I love it.
Look at that handsome fella.
Somebody's stretching the truth.
All right. Well,
Dylan, I think Catherine would say that.
Dylan, thanks for coming by, man. Always good to see you.
Dylan, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here always.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
See you soon. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Howard, you got it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just impressed that Howard's rocking this iPhone. We talked through getting it all set up. You know, I have a harder time working that out with my mom. Howard got it. He got it.
Oh, he's sharp. Howard's on the money. I mean, even in the video with you, Ronald, in Misery, I think your phone, someone called you out there in Belgium. Robocall. Robocall.
What's his phone?
Yeah, no, it's
but I was telling Howard the other day that his video throughout all our channels has over 100,000 views already.
Wow, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there's nobody out there that I owed money to.
No, not at all.
I thought that dude was gone.
Yeah, people love hearing those stories, especially right there from the battlefield, which is really special. To give you an opportunity to go out there, because the way you left it, Howard, you had a different memory, and then going back 75 years later, like you said, like you remember a little bit of it, but you remember the church, and the church was right there.
I remembered the church, and I kind of hastily remembered the area where we had set up a line a few hours after we got there. But the rest of it, we had outposts around that little village or town of Misery.
Yeah. And
nothing, Ronald was telling me where everything was, and I accept what he's saying, but I just couldn't remember any of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the terrain.
Yeah, no, Ronald's great. He has all the history there, and I love the pictures and diagrams too, which is really helpful. It's always great to spark his memory for sure. All right, who do we have here?
This is Nathan.
Nathan,
hello.
How old are you? Where are you from?
I'm 11 and I am going on 12.
You're in Galway, right? Galway, Ireland?
Yeah, Galway. And I'm going 12 on the 13th, which is Friday.
Nice.
Boy, who's that next to you?
This is my younger brother, Keith.
Hi, Keith. How old are you?
I'm 10 and I'm just 10. 4 days.
Just 10.
Just 10. Well, you have a 101st Airborne paratrooper right here, Howard Buford. He's 99 years old. Say hello to him.
Hello.
Hi there, guys. Glad to talk to you.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good I'm not complaining anyway.
So Nathan, and you guys have a question for him?
Yeah, Keith, you want to go first?
Go ahead, John. Don't be shy.
What was it like when you were in the foxholes and the artillery was coming overhead? What was it like?
Wow.
Well, I think I mentioned in that video, it gets your attention. The thing about artillery, the German 88s, when they were coming in, you could hear them just before they hit, and they didn't have proximity fuses. They blew up when they hit the ground. So when you heard one coming in, you had just enough time to just drop flat on the ground. But what really got your attention was the shrapnel. The artillery shell blew up, and these pieces of metal were flying through the air, and they made noises like "Zzz," and you can forget a lot of things, but you don't forget that sound.
Right.
Hey Howard, are you talking about the screaming memes?
No, he's just talking about shrapnel, like when the shrapnel flies past you.
Oh, shrapnel. Oh,
yeah, they make that white. As I love in the video, he's like, wee, wee, wee.
Right.
I can't even imitate how he did it.
Well, and if you were a rifleman, when your shells came in and you had a foxhole, you just were down in the foxhole, and because they were they went off when they hit the ground. The shrapnel would not come down into your foxhole, so you were relatively secure. But with the machine gun, it was left sitting up on top, so you're down in the foxhole, and you hear the shrapnel bouncing off the machine gun.
Man.
So it does scare the hell out of you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can imagine. Wow.
Ugh. And you were how old during that time?
I was either 21 or 22.
Man.
Wow. Babies.
That's crazy.
Hard to remember being that young.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. That's only twice the age of you right now, Nathan. Can you imagine? Another 10 years being out there in the battlefield, digging a foxhole and having artillery go over your head.
That'd be scary.
Yeah. I mean, sure. and Mr. Howard Buford here was only 10 years older than what you are right now.
Yeah.
Crazy, huh? Just to put it into perspective so you can understand, like, you know, you think you're young. I mean, they were young out there. Him and his brothers were young out there as well. So just to put it into perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You have another question?
My brother he's just gone to the toilet. So he'll be back.
What a time to go to the bathroom. Come on.
Oh, that's a reasonable excuse for me, miss.
You wash your hands, buddy? You wash your hands, John?
Yeah. Come on. You have a question? Yeah. I'll ask him. Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. This is great.
Yeah,
go on, buddy.
Go on. What were you most worried about when you were on the battlefield?
Well, it may seem odd, but at Bastogne, and I haven't fought in as much combat as some of the other guys, but at Bastogne, what was overwhelming was the cold. We didn't have regular winter gear. We just went up there with our regular gear, and it's hard. It was so cold. I can remember getting something warm to put around me to get my feet warm, and they would hurt so bad when they were thawing out that I'd feel like crying. But I'd tell myself, "You're a grown man, you can't cry." But it's funny, for all the combat and everything, the cold overwhelmed everything.
Wow. I can't imagine. I mean, because I know.
I don't mean you're not scared when artillery's coming in. As I mentioned in that video, it gets your attention. But and when Ronald told me how cold it had been, because I didn't really know, I mean, it was cold.
Yeah. Cold.
So what are some of the things, Howard, that you did to keep your feet warm?
Well, there wasn't anything. Well, I shouldn't say anything. That little town of village of Bisery, there was one of the houses, maybe a lot of others, but we only went in the one. The family was all there, and they were.
Uh-oh.
I'm plugged in. I don't know why it's not. Let me check the.
We hear you. We just lost
here,
the
so that's good.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Well, I don't know why it's because it says low battery, but I've got it plugged in.
Maybe just hit where a low battery and it should go back to video.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh, there we
You're
go.
Good. Yep. So we're talking about how you kept your feet warm.
Well, what we did was occasionally if you were not in one of the outposts, a few of us would go up to this one farmhouse and we'd build a fire in the fireplace or in the kitchen stove. And then we could get warm. The family was there. They would come up and talk to us sometimes, but they stayed down in the basement. And we didn't, being surrounded, there was nothing coming in. And what I did, I made the mistake of putting my boots inside the oven a little ways. Mm-hmm. I put them in too far, and inside one of the toes, the leather curled up.
Oh, gosh.
And then I lost one of my gloves. So what I would do, I didn't have any other boots. I had to wear the one, so my toes were curled up all the time. and I lost one of my gloves, so I would put the machine gun on one shoulder when we were moving, and with the glove on, and put my other hand in my pocket if I didn't have to carry a thing of ammunition. This darn phone is acting up.
Yeah, just hit the button again. It should come back. Just got to hit the button.
I wonder, does it show that you're charging?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know if it shows it. Gotta apologize for that, guys, because I thought it had plenty of charge.
It's all good. We hear you loud and clear. Maybe just hit the button and get the video back. There you are.
There we are.
You're back. Yeah, you're back for sure.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well, cool.
That's
Nathan
interesting.
and it's John, Nathan and John.
No, it's Keith.
Oh, Keith.
Keith. Oh,
Keith. Somebody said
on.
John. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan and Keith, thanks for coming by again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Stay warm.
Peace.
You want to see it?
Have fun in Ireland. Wish I was in Ireland.
Pretty cool. Young kids, man. So interested about World War II history.
Don't you love them?
Oh, it's great. I mean, this generation is going to keep the history and the memories alive, well after everyone's gone. I mean, these are the kids, 10, 11, 12 years old. I mean, it's incredible. I love it.
All right, let's bring someone else in here. Let's keep the questions rolling. All right, I think next in line is Matthew. I think I know who this is. There he is. What's up, Matthew?
Give me a sec.
All right, you got a
thank God. I was worried I wasn't going to get.
You're all good. Matthew, you're here with Mr. Howard Buford.
Introduce yourself, Matthew.
And this is a weird setup. You guys are big. He's not, actually.
Well, anyway, hi, Matthew.
There we go. Sir, I thought you might appreciate this. I kind of sketched this out when you described your machine gun. I think it was this model.
I can't see it.
Dirty cow.
M1919 A6.
Well, this one was had a bipod on the front of the up at the near the end of the barrel.
Muzzle brake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it had a shoulder adapter, so you would lie flat on the ground and fire from a prone position.
Yeah, it was a way of providing GIs with like German style machine gun fire with like a 42, but belt fed instead of a BAR, which is only 20 rounds.
Matthew,
well,
put the picture up there.
BAR was a little different. Yeah,
put the picture up there while you're talking, Matthew. So make sure you're talking, Matthew, so he can see it.
But yeah, this is a M1919 A6 machine gun. This is the one they had. They replaced this. They were handing these out at squad levels so you could easily move with the machine gun. And it gave the GIs in World War II a kind of a belt-fed capability versus a 20-round box magazine from the like the BAR.
Yeah, the one I used had a belt magazine. Yeah.
But yeah, I do have some questions. So, were you just in Bastogne, or were you in?
I was only in Bastogne.
Okay, good. Then that makes this easier. So, when you got to the 101st Airborne, you were basically a replacement, and were you guys getting ready to just because it was Christmas? Were you guys getting ready to enjoy the divisional football game or go on leave? But what was it like receiving the call that the Germans had broken through the lines and you guys were the only division along with the 82nd that was available to send?
Yeah, but see, as a trooper in a company, the way it worked was I was on guard duty, and at midnight the sergeant of the guard come around and told me to go back and go to bed. He didn't tell me why. And at about 4:30 in the morning, they woke us up. They told us that get our battle gear. And so we did. And I thought it was earlier, but Ronald tells me it was around 9 o'clock in the morning. these trucks pulled up along the street. They were like big flatbed trucks with the sidings that you could lift up and off or put them back on. And they took one of them off the back, and we just piled on the trucks, and they were in such a hurry. They didn't take roll call, didn't watch. A buddy of mine was in the band, and the band did not go into combat. Well, he came down. He didn't have a weapon. He crawled on the truck that I was on. He didn't let them know he was there until after we were in combat. Actually,
wow.
He got, I don't know, and then he disappeared. I never saw him again.
Is it true?
So we got on these trucks and we just crammed as many. We must have stopped along the way to go to the bathroom or get something to eat. But all I remember is we left in the morning and we got to Bastogne in the middle of the night. When the trucks unloaded, our company sergeant told us to get some rest. Well, it was probably about midnight and it was raining and snowing. So I don't know how you could get rest. But anyway, in the morning, then we moved through Bastogne and moved up until we hit the Germans.
Wow. Wow.
I remember that scene in Band of Brothers. You see the Germans, you see them riding on the back of trucks. Is it true that you guys ran into columns of retreating US GIs and you were asking them and they were giving you ammunition because at the camp that you guys were stationed at, there wasn't enough ammo or weapons to go around everybody?
Well, the Band of Brothers was the 506th. I was in the 501st. We rode on trucks when we left, but I don't remember anybody giving us ammunition or anything. The truth is, I don't remember that much about leaving there.
Hey, Ronald, can you add something to that? Do you know anything about that?
They were leaving Moermelaar, of course, as the first one because 501st Parachute Regiment, the combat team, together with the artillery, was sent out as first. So 1st Battalion of the 501st arrived first in Bastogne. The 2nd Battalion was sent out about 9 o'clock early in the morning. I don't know about any stragglers they met that morning, but could be quite possible.
Oh, wow. Wow, cool. Well, Matthew, good to see you again.
Yeah. I also want to ask this one thing about General McAuliffe. What was your reaction to when the Germans sent a surrender to you guys and your general, your second commander, replied, "Nuts"?
Well, of course, we didn't find out about that until at least a few hours after it happened. But I don't think it was treated with anything but humor by anybody.
Y'all just got a good laugh out of it?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's a wonderful feeling when you're young, and especially when you trained as hard as you have to get into an organization like the Airborne. And so we were cocky. No matter what happened, we were cocky. No, I don't think anybody ever thought about surrendering.
Yeah.
Not at least the guys that,
wasn't an option. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, even in football, on the football team, when the coach says something that's kind of like forceful, the whole rest of the team gets kind of excited, like, yeah. I'm sure you guys kind of felt that way too, like, yeah, hell yeah.
It was like even in football, I'm sure, even if you guys were down, you didn't give up.
I think
tried to get as many points on the board as possible.
I'll tell you what, everybody that I knew was just like me, really proud to be in the 101st.
Yeah.
And we were cocky, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine for sure. I just saw Tom Rice this morning as well. He's one of your brothers from the 501st.
Now there's a guy you should be talking to about combat because he really saw more than his share. And the poor guy was wounded twice.
Yeah, a couple
times. I would have asked him, but I missed that opportunity because I was sitting in the chat waiting to get in. Also, Donnie,
we'll have him back. Yeah. We'll have him back. Yeah. He also just turned 99.
Yeah.
Also, Donnie, love the U.S. Marine Corps World War II esque dungarees. It's really cool.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I got the Boondocker boots right here. Well, you can see it. I don't know if you can see it.
It's just disappearing.
Well, Tom Rice is Tom is 2 days older than me.
Oh yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. So, yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you, Matthew. I love all your tidbits and your history. And
hey, Austin, are you the guy who does Veterans Chronicles for another channel?
Nope.
Oh, well, there's this guy who sounds very similar to you who interviews veterans for this thing.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Somebody out there sound like me? Dang.
All right.
All right, cool. Thanks,
all
Matthew.
right, sir. Have a great day.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, real quick, while I'm bringing somebody else in, Ronald, talk about what was it like for you being able to take Howard back to his spot and really digest that area with him?
Well, thanks to Best Defense Foundation, it was a privilege and an honor, and once of a lifetime chance to take Howard back to Misery, where he fought 75 years ago. Howard and I were friends for almost 3 years before we met the first time, remember?
Yeah, we were friends on the computer.
Yeah.
So Ronald is how we met Howard as well.
Right.
Ronald introduced Howard to us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of just a big party of
it's amazing. I remember calling
each other, and that's just kind of how it works.
I remember calling you, Howard, and inviting you to come out to the Holland program. And you're like, nah, how you flying out there? He's like, how you flying out there? You flying coach? No, I can't go. I'm not going coach. And
hey, listen, I remember that conversation because you and Catherine must have been on
Catherine.
Yeah, you were both on the phone, and I said I didn't think I wanted to go. I didn't want to sit crowded in a coach seat. And Catherine says, "We don't do that."
You're flying first class, baby.
That's right. We fly first class. Nothing but 5 stars for our veterans, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Adam in here. Look at that background.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
I got my bar gunner and my staff sergeant from the 66th Infantry back there. This is the setup.
Oh, wow.
Now, I think, Adam, this is your first time doing a call with us, right?
Yes, this is.
Very cool.
Where are you from, Adam?
Where are you at?
I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's almost dinner time, so I was hoping I was going to get in.
Yeah, no, wonderful.
So I just had one quick question. So all of my grandmother's brothers served. She's 93,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of them, I didn't get to meet them, but when my dad met them, he said there were just these experiences that they had present day, like smelling things, hearing certain sounds. For example, we in Lynn, Massachusetts, they live next to Logan Airport. And when the planes would come over, they'd actually roll out of their beds and crawl underneath the bed as if it was like an air raid. So, kind of, their PTSD that came back from that with their experiences from the war. But I was just wondering, Howard, if you had any like experiences today, like seeing something or smelling something that kind of brought you back.
It's kind of odd. I don't think I was one of those guys that I came home. I didn't talk to my friends or my family about the war. I just walked in the living room, took my uniform off in the living room, walked in the bedroom and put my civvies on. But I did have something happen after the war was over. We did a lot of occupation duty, and we did. We were up at the town where Hitler had his mountain retreat up there. I hate to say it, but I think it was called Bad Gaston. You would know better than me, don't you, Donnie?
Yeah.
At any rate, there's a lake. I think, and I can't remember, Lake Königssee, maybe, that's within a few miles of Berchtesgaden.
Yeah, Lake Königssee, right.
Yeah, and so we could go up there once in a while on a pass. We'd stay there for 2 nights, I think, give us a chance to drink a lot of beer and relax. And so we were out walking one day, and one of the things that you do when you're in combat is those German 88s make a noise coming in. and you hear it and you're on the ground. And I suppose our artillery must make some similar sound. Anyway, I was with a couple of buddies up in this little town by the lake, and there were some German guys, young German men, up on a porch, kind of a big porch of a building, a house. And there was a sound, I don't know where it came from. And these three guys hit the ground, just boom, they were right on the ground. And so the war was over, but they still could remember, yeah.
Right.
You knew damn well they were infantry.
Yeah, you never forget those sounds. I'm sure you never forget those sounds.
But I never did. When I came home, I just forgot the war.
And you didn't even talk about it for like, what, 50 years? Is that what you told me?
At least 50 years, yeah.
Wow.
I always have felt a little bit bad because I never talked to my mother or my father about it. And after they were dead, I thought, damn, I should have talked to them about it. Yeah.
Wow. And of course, when he went back with us last year, that was his first time going back to that area.
Yeah.
So in 75 years.
Yeah.
Just an incredible thing to be a part of.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was very happy to get to go back to Bisri. I was glad I had Ronald with me to help me. But the impression that I brought home was the people in Holland. I mean, their reaction to us and what happened was just overwhelming.
It was amazing. All the thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there just to see you and all your brothers and sisters. It was just incredible. I mean, remember the parade going into Maastricht?
God, I tell people about those parades, but I'm always aware I can't tell them. I can't really tell them what an emotional experience it was.
Yeah, no, it's really special. I mean, it was seven rows back, and we went from town to town. It's on our video, our Holland 75 video, but you can see it. I mean, from town to town, all the way. We took World War II vehicles, and all the veterans were in the trucks, and there's people just standing on the side of the road, and then we come into a town, and they're just mobbed. There's so many people. I mean, it was just incredible. The planes flying down. I mean, it was just the ticker tape. I mean, it was unbelievable. The Dutch people really, really came out strong, and it was really nice for all you guys to see that. So
the people there were so enthusiastic and so gracious. I'll never forget that.
I mean, imagine right now, right, because of the whole coronavirus and not being able to travel. No one. I mean, I think America still can't even travel to Europe, let alone that France and Italy are completely shutting down the country. I mean, it just gives a little bit more like emphasis and to know what we did last year, right? Because this year was a wash. Yeah. So like last year was very, very special, and I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad that you're a part.
Well,
thank you very much, guys. I gotta go.
Is that your room, Adam?
No, this is my basement.
Oh, your basement.
Wow, that is cool.
I got a lot of.
Give us a little look.
Yeah. So I got my.
Is that a mannequin there?
I think we're good now. Yeah. So.
Wow, it looks like a museum.
Over here, I got let's see if you can see it. I got the 66th ID.
Oh yeah.
With the M1, and I got the life belt, but it was like a Rhine crossing.
Okay.
Over here, I got 79th Infantry Division. I got the bar gunner set up, the haversack on the back. And then there's some other stuff in my basement.
Where's the bar at?
Oh, wow.
I know. I don't have $10,000 yet to buy the bar. Let's see if I have some other stuff.
Oh, that is really cool.
Vietnam from family, and then up till Afghanistan from Fort Dix. A guy from Fort Dix bought some stuff off of him over the Corona outbreak. So.
And those are all original uniforms, and wow, really cool.
And then I got some family stuff upstairs, some German bringbacks and Marine Corps items from World War I, World War II from my aunt's grandfather and uncle. So yeah, I definitely appreciate, Howard, all of you guys, the greatest generation, all your service. And I hope to keep that memory alive through, my work, and actually was able to research. My school has a plaque, my high school, with all the KIA members from World War II, all the high schoolers, and I was able to research some of them, and One was actually
Awesome.
awarded the Silver Star in Tunisia
Wow.
for an assault on a bunker. So hopefully I can get to kind of share that with our school at some point in time.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Adam, send us an email with your info. I'll put you connected because we're, in our education initiative in schools right now, we do it via Zoom, but I'd love to get you connected with it as well. Because I think
we can maybe do something with your school.
Yeah, and then I definitely have a vet too. Actually, this is his setup. He was the MASH doctor in Vietnam. So he's still with us. He lives right down the street from me, and I could definitely see if we can get him on a Zoom. And
also we'll be doing trips to Vietnam, programs to Vietnam, hopefully next year.
Oh, wow,
in Korea.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you for your service, Howard.
Thank you, Adam. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys too. See ya.
Have a good dinner.
See you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's getting ready for dinner. Man, what an incredible basement. It looks like a museum.
Oh, geez.
Huh? Wow, really cool. How old was he? Did we get it? Did you find out how old he was?
He's in high school, so
so probably like 16, 17. Yeah.
Like 17 or 18.
Pretty incredible, huh, Howard? I mean, so much.
I think it's incredible, yeah.
Yeah, from all over.
From all over the world.
Special. Yeah, which is really special.
Some more. There's a lot of people who want to meet you today, Howard. There's like 18 people in the lobby. Let's get Anders in here. Anders. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hey.
We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
You.
Yeah, welcome.
Oh, sorry because... Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit red in my head. It's my first time ever speaking with a veteran.
Oh, wow.
I'm from Denmark.
Oh, you're in Denmark. Oh, sweet.
I'm from Denmark, yes.
So Howard, he's never spoken to a veteran before, so you're his first.
well, that's amazing. He's in Denmark.
Yeah.
I have to turn off my sound on YouTube. I could hear myself.
Oh, yeah.
But hello, Mr. Buford or Howard, or what would you like to be called, sir?
As long as it's not profanity, you call me anything you want.
Okay, Howard.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for your service and thank you what you and comrades and the U.S. Army have done, as well as the Allies had done on the World War II. I myself study history, and my specific subject is World War II. So my bachelor assignment was also on the Airborne as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and I hope to educate the future children also about the World War II and its heroes and its soldiers who had fought in.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We very never important.
Forget.
Yeah. I have two questions, and I hope they are okay. I can ask them. The first one is: do you ever feel angry about the Germans after the war, or do you see them as people as yourself?
I can't speak for anybody else but me, but I thought that how the German government behaved, the things they did were deplorable, reprehensible, immoral, but I never felt any personal animosity towards the German or the Germans. And as I've gotten older, I'm even more like that. There's people that are that are not very decent people in every country, but most of the people in everywhere are great people. And I never felt any personal animosity towards anybody.
That's a good question, Howard, because I got to tell you, my grandfather, he fought in the Pacific, and all the way into his death. I mean, he had a lot of animosity towards the Japanese. And even when I was telling him hey, Grandpa, it's, you can't say that anymore. And he says, if you saw what I saw, I can say whatever I want to say about it.
I had breakfast this morning with a lady about probably early 40s. She's from South Korea. Mm-hmm. And she came here 15, 20 years ago, couldn't speak English when she got here. and when I spent a lot of time talking to her about her homeland, what it was like, how they felt, she and her family, they're just like I am. I mean, there's no
100%.
difference in her feelings,
right.
But I didn't sense any. I asked her specifically if she had feelings of animosity towards the North Koreans, and there were things she disliked, but she didn't really hate anybody.
Right. I think everybody looks at it differently for sure.
Yeah.
I think
it might depend on your experiences too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, that's a great question, Anders, because it's very unique to everyone and how they look at it.
Well, I've made a real effort to expand my exposure. My best two male friends are Black. This lady that I have with today, her boyfriend or live-in, whatever you call him, he's Japanese, and he and I are really close friends. I have a close friend who's a Muslim. People have different values according to their culture and their environment and their religion, but fundamentally, there's
same.
Nice people everywhere.
We're all the same, right? We're all the same. We're just from different areas and walk of life, but
absolutely.
That's why
we better come to grips with that, or our life is going to disappear from the planet.
Yeah, it's just tolerance and understanding, and know that we're all different, and let's just embrace everybody's differences and not try to force everybody like the way you feel on everybody else. We're all different. And
I used to have a close friend who was Filipino, and we played racquetball, 4 of us every Saturday. And I'd been playing. We'd go to breakfast afterwards, and one Saturday, I'd known him for a long time, certainly over a year. And we were out to breakfast, and religion came up, and I looked at him and I said, "Alex, are you religious?" He says, "Yeah, I'm Catholic." But I didn't know. I've known him for a long time. I don't give a damn what religion he is.
Right, you're either a nice guy or you,
there's a lot of other values that.
No,
I remember you and I had that. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I remember Howard and I had this conversation, and it was very refreshing to hear your perspective, Howard, as a guy who's lived almost 100 years. Yeah. And you said at one point in your life, you did care about all that stuff. And as you kind of step back and look at it, you just saw the world differently and realized, it doesn't matter. Like all that stuff is trivial. It's just whether or not you're a good person or not,
Before I went into service, I had a 1940 Chevy convertible with a lot of money spent on extras and loud pipes, and I cruised around East LA, and I knew a lot of girls, and I didn't drink or smoke, but we just had a good time. But I really didn't have any deep thoughts or anything. I think maturity helps you with your values.
Yeah, for sure.
It helped me.
Yeah, for sure.
So Anders, let's give him one more.
Yeah, I have one more question. How was Berchtesgaden when you arrived in Berchtesgaden? How was the city?
Well, we didn't. It was kind of an odd thing. I don't know how to explain it. They called it fraternizing, and they forbid us to fraternize with the Germans. So we weren't going into town or to a bar, which servicemen do. We were kind of away from them. Now, in spite of all that, the young soldiers and young German girls met and got together, but I didn't spend time in town. So I don't really recall the town that well.
Yeah, well, unfortunately this year, the program got canceled to Berchtesgaden. So we're trying to get you out there this year, but unfortunately, with coronavirus.
Yeah.
We'll
we're all suffering the same.
Eagle's Nest is closed till next year.
Yeah, I know. It's closed down. Yeah, so spring. So yeah, we'll try it again and maybe go to Lake Königssee and maybe you can finally go to that pub and get that beer.
Well, what I remember, it was a beautiful place and they had good beer.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful place still. Yeah, for sure. Hey, well, thank
Anders,
you for joining us. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was saying, Anders, it's great to meet you. I'm so glad that we were able to provide an opportunity for you to meet your first World War II veteran, because I know how
I'm happy.
I know how special that is for us, and we get to do it all the time. We're lucky, but I'm really glad that you got to have this moment.
It's a big wish come true.
Yeah,
I mean, this is why we do it, because I mean, a lot of people don't never get a chance to talk to a World War II vet.
Right.
And there are so many stories to get to have tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, make sure you watch the video so you can get a little bit more in depth from Howard. And
take care.
Yeah, thank you, Howard. You too, man. And thank you for your service, and thank you what you have done.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we'll see you again.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, bye.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's why we do it. Give people the opportunity to meet World War II vets, even if it's online. It's a really cool opportunity. That's crazy, Howard. You're getting people from all over the world today.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at that.
It's cool from all over the world, which is great. You know,
let's see.
That's a great thing. I mean, you know, this little device can tie us all in together.
Mm-hmm. Caitlin, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi.
Awesome. How you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
All right. Where are you from and how old are you?
I'm 14. I'm from United States, California.
All right.
South Korean.
What part?
South Korean. My parents came from South Korea. Yeah.
California you're from?
Part of California Bay Area.
Bay Area. Okay, so you're Howard's in Ventura, so he's
I'm just below Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah. So you're southern. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Caitlin, welcome. You are on with Howard Buford, and the stage is yours.
Yeah. So I just had a couple of questions, but I was thinking, what kept you going during the war? Like, did you hear from your family? Did you have a lot of friends around you? Or?
You know, I got a email from a friend here who is really interested in World War II, an older man. But he gave me the name of somebody in another company in the 501st. Asked me if I knew him, and the way I responded was the people I knew were the squad I was in. There's about 8, 10, 12 people that you're really close to. They're the ones when you have a chance you go to town with. They're the ones you fight with when you're in combat. You know, casually some others in your platoon, but you really don't know many people other than that. It's just the way the military is, the way the infantry or the airborne is.
So what kept you going?
Oh, well, you know, Donnie, it's hard for me to remember, but when I was young, I was going all the time. So I don't know really how to answer that. I don't have any special motivation. I'm just glad to be alive and happy to be where I was. I was proud of being in 101st.
Yeah, I know some GIs had a young girl back home that they wanted to get back to, and writing letters back and forth like as soon as this war ends, in your arms.
Funny, they had those. They called them Dear John letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
When Patton broke through in Bastogne, they brought our mail. I'll swear within a day or two we had our mail. I don't know how they did that. Anyway, I had a Dear John letter from one of the girls I'd been really serious with at home, that she'd gotten married.
Oh. Well, that's not going to motivate you every day.
It was great timing.
Yeah, thank God.
What a horrible thing! Like, to just be like, I know you're over fighting the war for our freedom, but just want to let you know it's over.
Right. Hey, by the way. Well,
see, you have to have a sense of humor to get through life.
I guess the old BTW letter.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh man.
Oh,
so
great question.
Caitlin, so you're 14. What got you interested in World War II?
I don't entirely know, to be honest. Over quarantine, I just got really bored and I started looking into some new things, and I thought studying history would be fun. There were some projects and things online, and I just started looking more into it. And I've got some friends who had family members who were serviced in World War II, I believe. A friend whose grandfather was in, I think, Leyte Gulf. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Philippines. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PT boat captain, and another friend who had a great grandfather who passed on the USS Arizona.
Oh, wow.
Very history cool. There. Yeah.
We always like seeing younger people getting interested in. That's like for us. That's why we do this, is trying to get the next generation of younger people interested and involved in all this, so we can keep this, to keep the momentum, to keep their memories alive, because we won't always have them here to tell us the stories. So
yeah,
the great generation is the generation that will be charged to keep these stories going.
Yeah. No, it's really special actually to have your generation to show interest and push it forward. That's why we do what we do. So you have another question for Mr. Buford?
Yeah, just one more. In your time of service, where around did you travel? I heard you were in Ardennes, but not much else.
It is odd. When we left Bastogne, we went to two separate. We went to one location and then another one. The contact and the combat was sporadic, because we were both times on where there was a valley with a creek down the middle, and the Germans were on one side and we were the other. So except for combat patrols, there wasn't a lot of contact. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you where those two places were now.
I bet Ronald could.
Yeah.
It's in the vicinity. It's after Bastogne, you went to the region of the Alsace, right? So in the Alsace, you had, what was it? How long? You had some fights after Bastogne in the Alsace region. I have to think about the exact dates and the exact time, but that's where you spent some time and fought on, right? You remember that? The Alsace?
No, I remember the two places we were. I remember one of them, see, you remember, my memory's spotty. One of the things I remember that we were on one side of a small valley and the Germans were on the other side, close enough that we could throw mortar shells over and they'd throw mortar shells back. But I was in a foxhole and I had to have a box in there because it was starting to rain and the snow was melting. There was about 6 inches of water in the bottom of the foxhole. So in the daytime, I can't get up and walk around because the Germans are firing distance away, but I can't get down in the bottom of the hole. So I have to sit on top of the box. I had to wait till dark to get out of the hole. Not exactly glamorous.
Yeah, right. For sure. Well, cool. Caitlin, thank you so much for coming by.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin.
This was amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, keep up your interest in this, and if there's anything that we can, answer for you, just hit us up. And we're putting out a lot more videos in the next coming months, so we're gonna have a lot more information, really cool stories out there.
Yeah. Thank you.
And if you want to participate in our educational initiative, what we're doing, send us your info, and we'll connect you. And it's something that I think that you would take interest in, and we'll love doing.
Especially you being in California, awesome. We got a lot of people close to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've been looking for interview sources recently. I've never actually met a veteran before, so
wow.
Yeah,
hit
us up.
And, come to Ventura and we'll have coffee.
There you go.
I love it.
I'm gonna skip away. All right. Thanks, Caitlin.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Have a good day.
High five. I love it. 14 years old. That's very cool.
I know. Super sharp too. Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Who else we got in here? How you doing, Howard? You got time for a couple more?
I'm fine.
You got time for a couple more?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Plus, we have a couple of team members that want to say hello to you, Howard, as well. So we'll get them on. Everyone, on and say hello to you before we finish.
Yeah. All right. Let's get Patrick in here now. Patrick is in He's in the Philippines, right? I can't remember. I forget stuff. He's connecting.
All right.
We're going to circle the whole globe today, Howard.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Wow. Is he in the Philippines?
I think so, from what I remember. You meet a lot of people, I start to lose track.
Yeah. I don't see any video. Patrick, are you there?
Video yet either. Patrick?
There he is.
There he is.
You're on mute. If you hear us, you're on mute.
Hello.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello.
Wow.
All right, Patrick, you're on with Howard Buford. And you're in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good. Good. All right. Go ahead.
Damn, it's almost 5 a.m. here in the Philippines. I still awake.
Yeah.
And right now there's a strong storm coming in. I think it's couple of hours, and it's gonna enter now in our country.
Oh,
but
wow.
Wow.
Be safe
right
out
now we doesn't chill now.
Wow.
Wow. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
Safe, right?
For sure. Well, go ahead. You got Howard here.
Yeah. From the 101st Airborne.
Yep.
Yeah. 501st.
And I have two questions for Mr. and one fun question for him.
Okay.
For Mr. Howard, what is the hardest part in Advisory Belgium? I think it's the weather, right? Because there's no air reconnaissance that time.
Yeah, the weather was the worst thing. By the time you have spent any time in a service in an airborne organization, you're in tremendous physical condition. I mean, you can handle a lot, but the cold just overwhelmed us. A good example is I was on a machine gun. There was two of us on the machine gun, and one day my buddy isn't there. I know what happened to him because he didn't get shot. Because I would have been there when he got shot. So he had to get frostbite. We probably lost as many people to the cold and to frostbite as we did to wounds.
Wow. That's just crazy to think about. Like you have a physical enemy, and then you have just this natural enemy that you have to combat at the same time.
And then there's the little things like they had a lot of overcast. It was real low. So at night, sometimes it would be black. I mean, it can't be any darker. Well, they would manage to get some warm food up for us. And so they would come up and get, maybe 200-300 feet behind where you were. And then you could go back and get something to eat, some hot food, or mostly hot. The trouble was it was so dark you couldn't see anything. So somebody would come, and then 3 or 4 of you go with him. You put your hand on each other's shoulder, and he'd get you back through the dark forest to where the food was. The problem was that you had these mess kits, and you opened them up, and there were 2 containers. So you got in the line, and you moved along, and the guys out there would who was serving you food would put their left hand out till they felt your mess kit. Then they'd take whatever food they had and they'd dump it in there. But that meant if you had some hot beans and some cold Jell-O, they sometimes just got dumped together. Now that seems like a minor thing, but it actually was kind of humorous because we ate it, whatever it was.
Whatever it was, I'm hungry when you eat it.
Oh, it's food.
No, hey, Howard, you're right. I was thinking about what you were saying about, the weather. And see, what happens is, when you have, even in football, right? So you have a opponent, or for you guys, an enemy, right? And you have to overcome the enemy, but also you have to overcome the elements.
Yeah.
The weather, but you also have to overcome your own personal pain that you have as well. Because if you think about, if you have an old wound or something like that, and that you're trying to alien your knee, your back, or whatever, you know what I mean? So you're constantly trying to overcome all these things, but also beat the enemy.
But isn't youth a wonderful thing?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Patrick, you got another question?
Yeah.
Go for it.
How many hours you stay in your machine gun nest, or do you have any you have a shifting finding food, like because the M1919 was a 2-man gun, right? So
well, it was a 2-man gun, but you didn't need 2-man because after my buddy left, I assume he got frostbite. I handled that machine gun by myself. The problem was the ammunition, not the machine gun. I could carry it on my shoulder, but you can go through a box of ammunition pretty quick. So you had to have the guys that were in your squad, they had to carry and a lot of times they didn't want to carry it. So if you were somewhere, you're in a firefight or something, and then you get up to move, they don't pick the boxes up and carry them. So sometimes you could run out of ammunition.
Yeah. Not now. Yeah, you can now. Yeah.
They don't show that in the movies, but
no, they don't.
No, that's for sure. Well, cool. Patrick, stay safe over there.
Yeah. Can I have one fun question?
Yeah, one more quick question.
Howard, what is the most fun part when you're in the machine gun nest?
What's the funnest part about being a machine gunner?
About firing.
Well, you know, if you're in combat, you're not thinking about it. When you're in practice, it is kind of fun to fire one in practice.
Yeah.
But not when you're in combat.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
Hey, Howard. I mean, especially when you're in a machine gun. Did you put tissue in your ears? Did you put anything in your ears for hearing protection?
You know, we never did, and I thought about it afterwards. But it wasn't that were the real noise. The real loud noise was when artillery went off within a few feet of where you were. You'd be down in a hole, but that was loud.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But so I never heard of anybody complain about their hearing. So
yeah, so the best thing you did was just kind of plug your ears like that, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh, modern day ear protection. Yeah, well, hats off to you guys. I mean, you guys.
Well, I still have a couple of earplugs that I got when you had me come down to that football game. So.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. We're gonna do that again for sure. You know, as soon as this situation opens up a little bit, but. Patrick, hey, thanks for joining us again. Be safe out there in the Philippines.
So long, Patrick.
Yeah, be safe out there. I know that storm is coming, and thank you for for coming on and keeping history alive.
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
Thanks,
all right, bye. Love it. Philippines to the Ireland, Denmark.
Yeah,
everywhere.
So Austin, you want to bring on one more, and then there's a whole bunch of team members that want to join and say hello.
Okay, let's see. Going in order here, we got Eric Smith. I think we've talked to Eric before. Nope, I don't recognize Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing well, buddy.
Oh, have we talked to you before?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Last time.
The background was different.
Actually, I'm staying at my parents right now for the week in Chicago, so I'm down.
Okay.
Right on. Well, introduce yourself to Mr. Buford.
Hello, Mr. Buford. How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to.
Oh, we can hear your audio. Are you watching it on YouTube as well?
Oh, yes. I will.
Go ahead and mute that.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I just wanted to thank you so much, Mr. Buford. I really appreciate all of our World War II vets and what you did. And I really just want to let you know that young people like myself, I'm 24 years old. We appreciate what you guys did, and we're going to remember you guys and your sacrifice. And we're so grateful for what you and your buddies did 75 years ago.
Wow.
Well, the way I feel about that is that I came home and I wasn't wounded. I'm in good shape. When on one of the days over there in Holland last September, we were in a massive graveyard of Americans, and I went off by myself for about 15 minutes just so I could I'm choking up right now just thinking about it. That's the guys that we need to appreciate.
Of course.
Yeah, but you know what we do, Howard, is we keep their memories alive by you
I know
telling
it, and
your
that's
story
good.
and keeping them alive. So that's how we keep history alive, by never forgetting and always remembering the sacrifice. Because as you know, freedom is not free, and a lot of, just like Leila Morrison said, in the Normandy cemetery, she's like, all these crosses here, they wanted to live too. They wanted to live too. And
if you're an American and you don't have some kind of emotional feeling at those graveyards, there's something wrong with you. Made a major impression on me.
Yes.
When I visited the Normandy graveyard, I was able to visit Normandy and see where a lot of the 101st guys jumped in. And that graveyard just blew me away. I mean, all of those kids were younger than me. I mean, I'm 24 years old, and I'll be the first to admit that I probably do not have as much courage as you guys did to go in and save the world. So when I was in that graveyard looking at all these kids that are younger than me, that had to pay the price for our freedom, it completely humbled me. And it's something that, I'll never forget. And it's important that we share those memories so that your generation and what you did will always be remembered.
Yeah, it's surreal. Like I've been there so many times now, and I've yet to not lose it. Like I break down every time we go. Yeah, and it's just when you're there, it's hard to.
Yeah, so we had a chance to visit. We had a chance to visit Margraten Cemetery last year with Howard Buford. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been there before, Eric, but it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And the Dutch people, they do an amazing project every year. It's called Faces of Margraten. And what they do, they put the face of the soldier that's there up, so you can have that kind of feeling that this is a person. It's not just a cross, and you realize how young they are. There's one thing on the cross is that you don't see how old they are, so you don't realize these are 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, just makes it put into perspective. So, I'm
glad you got to experience that, though. It's something I wish everybody could experience.
It changed my life. It really did. I look at myself, I'm the luckiest person in the world. I have a job, I have a girlfriend, I get to live a life, and I don't have to, live under oppression. And it's because of men like Mr. Buford that, I can live such a great life. I have one question for Howard about his time in the service. And it was about the Eagle's Nest. What was the celebration like when you guys found out that the war was actually over?
God, I wish I knew how to answer that. I don't know that I felt that much emotion when the war in Europe was over, but I was in the Pathfinders, which was a small group of guys, and we were in a camp, and I can't remember exactly where in France it was, but we were getting ready to go to the Pacific. We just felt we were all going to go there, and we were prepared to do it. And when the news came back, I feel differently today about those nuclear bombs that were dropped in Japan. But at the time, that's when we showed emotion. We really felt the war was over when the Japanese surrendered. And we did feel really good.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think a lot of you guys thought that, this part of the battle is over, but we're getting ready to,
that was that other one over there waiting.
So there's something that you really can't get. You're excited, but hey, we're still in the fight. We still have a battle to do.
Yeah, still work to be done.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to say thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate our greatest generation. And I just had, I guess, is it okay for one more question, or if someone else is going to join in, that's okay.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to know, how would you like to be remembered?
Well, I don't know if I can explain it to somebody your age, but I was I was having a good time when I was young. I even had a good time while I was in the service. When I came home, I got married, and I married a lady with 2 kids, and I had 2 more. So I was so busy working. I'm a retired highway engineer, a licensed surveyor. I've owned 4 businesses. I was a drug counselor for 8 years. I've been involved in a lot of things. But something happened to me, and I got older, where I began to appreciate life, to begin to appreciate people, to be non-judgmental, to control my emotions. So any really the greatest feelings I've had were probably after I was up in my 60s. Mm-hmm. But I have changed.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do.
No, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Hey, Eric, just to echo what you said, I mean, we owe it to this generation. And I got to tell you, anyone who's born in this great country of America, I mean, I wish people can think that, we're victors. You're born in this country, you won. And people who want to, who call themselves victims when you're born in this country is completely wrong. So I encourage everyone that's born in this country to realize, hey, you won. I mean, we're in the greatest country in the world. I mean, and if you take that mentality and that attitude, it's going to help you for the whole rest of your life.
Always. I agree with that.
Very cool. Yep. All right. Well, Eric, thanks for coming by again.
So long, Eric.
Thank you so much, Howard. And thank you to the Best Defense for taking care of these guys. God bless you.
Absolutely. That's what we do. All right. All right. So right now, let's bring in, here's what I want to do. We're going to bring in a bunch of our team. And then I think the History Secrets guy is on here too. That'd be a really cool thing for Howard to see some of that guy's collection.
Perfect.
So we'll bring in some team members, and we'll get Nick in there as well. All right, let's bring in some of so you guys can meet some of our team. Yeah. Whoa, she just popped up out of it.
Hi, Howard. I wanted to say hi to you.
Hi.
Miss you. It's good to see your face.
Yeah. I miss you guys.
Get crazy. Make sure everybody's muted.
Well, I feel like on that trip I made a lot of good friends.
Yep, we are all Howard's friends. We're all popping in here, and I think after this we'll have the team hop off, and then we'll get one more person in to talk to Howard.
I miss you, Howard.
I miss you too.
No, you look great, sweetie.
Thank you.
99 never looked so good.
Well, my attitude, my sense of humor is fine. The body is fighting back.
That's all right. I think you're going to win.
So, Nick, we can't hear you.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
I see you talking, but we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't?
No, I hear you, Howard. It's all right.
Oh.
We got.
Well, I could hear Catherine.
Can you see Liberty?
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, Nick.
Hey, Liberty, are you there?
Hey there.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hi.
You know what happened? I bought a suit so I could wear it to your wedding. So much time has gone by, the suit's outmoded, I had to buy another suit. For God's sake, would you hurry up?
I'm trying.
That's hilarious.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can introduce you to some very nice California boys.
Yeah, but last time you said they wear flip-flops.
They do?
I don't like flip-flops.
Okay.
Hey, even our police officers wear flip-flops.
Oh, no! My police officers wear cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
I love Texas. So, Howard.
Yeah?
We got Nick here from the Netherlands, who has an amazing collection of stuff. Nick, show him some of your stuff here.
Yeah, I'm going to show you some memorable things from your time frame. For instance, here we have the mess kit that you use during the war. You remember?
You know what? I can't see it on my screen.
You can't?
No.
Here, hold on a second.
Oh, yes, a slide.
There you go. Can you see it now, Howard?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do see it now. Yeah.
Very
You
cool.
remember this?
Wow, that's cool.
See, you know, it's funny. See, my memories of the mess kit is that we would be out in the, in the woods or wherever we are, and we get something not every day, but every once in a while, they'd bring some good hot food up for us. So we would eat. But now you got a mess kit that's dirty, and you do not have any hot water. You don't have any dishcloths to clean it. So the way what you did, you took dirt and you rubbed it in, and you rubbed it and rubbed it around there. Then you took leaves off of trees or bushes and you rubbed that in. And that was the best you could do. So we seemed to survive because the next time we used it, it was still worked.
Well, Howard, I think it worked. You're 99 years old. I'm sure it wasn't a problem at all.
That's some really interesting history right there.
Gluten-free. It's different now. Sorry, go on, Nick.
What else you got?
That is amazing. Well, I got a lot here. I got the M1 helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And
let me tell you a story about that helmet.
All right.
One of the guys in my outfit, a bullet you have the steel helmet and you have a liner. There was a bullet hole in the front of his helmet, another hole in the back of the steel helmet, but nothing on the plastic liner. The bullet apparently came in at an angle, ricocheted around the inside between the liner and the helmet, and then went out the back. And he wasn't injured at all.
That is really lucky.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, because you see, there is quite a bit of space between the liner and the shell of the helmet.
Yeah.
So that's a really, really good thing about the M1 helmet. A lot of times, I've heard a lot of stories that people actually got shot right there, and it was actually too high, so they got away with only a scratch. Oh wow, that's amazing! What a story!
Oh wow,
you have to be really lucky.
For sure.
So anything else you have there that Howard used?
Recognize?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you use an overcoat in the Battle of the Bulge?
The overcoat? Yeah.
I've got it over here.
He's walking.
It's really nice and warm.
Well, hey, Howard, this is a pretty incredible museum he has there. It's incredible.
Well, those overcoats
right there
were pretty warm. What we would do, like when I had a buddy with me on a machine gun, we would have a double foxhole. We make it larger because there's two of us in there. Right. And when we tried to get some sleep once in a while, but it was, it was below zero part of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The way you could sleep, get down on your hands and knees and take the overcoat off and drape it over the top of you, and you could get warm enough to fall asleep.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've also heard that you had these individual, what they're called, combat protective individuals for gas attacks. And they also use them in the foxholes to protect against snow and cold weather. Did you ever use that?
I don't recall that, no.
Well, I found them with my metal detector right next to foxholes. And apparently they use them to protect themselves against snow and rain and cold weather. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. I don't recall that, no. But a lot of the things that we did in practice that were realistic. If I'm carrying a machine gun and a box of ammunition, and you get tired of all this weight. So after a while, nobody in my group had a bayonet anymore. We threw them away because we threw away the gas mask. We'd have been in terrible shape if we'd have been gassed. Now,
Nick goes and digs up.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
tell you
why.
what, you get a bunch of young guys together and they don't always behave the way they're supposed to.
That's the truth. That never changes. That never
If you
changes.
throw away a bayonet, it will look like this after so many years.
Yeah.
Well, hell, the only thing the bayonet was good for was to open a can of food.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I want to ask yourself, if there's somebody, a German over there or Japanese, whatever it is, and are you going to go out and try to stab him with the bayonet? The bayonet's on a rifle. Why not shoot him? It's a lot better than fighting with a bayonet. I mean,
that's a really good point. Oh, that's amazing.
I love only veterans can get away with saying stuff like that.
Have you ever faced one of these?
Oh, wow.
I can't see it right now.
MG42?
Oh, sorry.
Spotlight it for you there, bud. Hold on.
Is that an MG42?
I've got MG42s in the back, and right here is an MG34.
34.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
And do you recognize the MG42?
Probably not, because I don't recognize the name.
Oh.
Those are German weapons.
Maybe if you look like this.
The German machine gun.
German machine gun, yeah.
Well, the thing I know about German machine guns, when you hear of a German machine gun, you know it's not American, because an American machine gun goes boom, 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 and a German machine gun goes brrr. They fire.
Yeah, that's the MG.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Wow.
a terrifying sound.
Yeah, you know what it is when you hear it.
Yeah, it was a fierce weapon on the battlefield for sure.
Yeah.
It was. What's your most memorable experience from the Battle of the Bulge?
Oh, wow. Never been asked that before. Oh, my. I think probably the thing that I remember most is that for some reason, after Patton broke through, we would push it. We were pushing the Germans back, but we wouldn't always stay in contact with them. Sometimes we'd pull back so we could sleep at night, I guess, get some rest. And so we were out. Started out one morning in a big, long line. We're moving through the trees. We don't know how far, where the Germans are. And I was walking down the row of these trees and I decided for some reason to move over to the row on my right. So I stepped over to the right and I'm looking at a German. I could have thrown a rock at him. He's right there. You know.
Wow.
I still remember that. We were both on the ground in seconds and the firefight started, you know.
Oh, man.
That's a really scary experience.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's like a movie moment right there.
Wow.
Like you're seeing
it
a
is
movie
like
and
a
you remember
movie.
that in the movie and it's like, woo!
And my buddy lying right beside me got shot. The bullet went just below his knee. It went into the calf of his leg and came out the side of his boot. So the bullet had to be going flat. And the only place between us was about 6 inches between our soldiers. The bullet had to go through that little hole.
Oh, wow. Man.
So anybody who tells you there isn't a lot of luck if you come out of combat whole is kidding.
Oh,
them.
man, yeah. Wow. What an experience.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Woo.
And did she ever take any souvenirs from the war?
You know, I had a box of stuff that I had picked up. A lot of it I picked up. I think it was the English that bombed that, what do they call that? The Eagle's Nest that Hitler had. Well, they bombed that and it was just rubble. And we went up there one time with a group and I picked up a lot of things from up there. And I have a couple of little things. I have a little small banner with a swastika on it.
Wow.
But over the years, I don't know whether I gave them to people or people took them. There's not much in that box anymore.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
That is so cool.
It's so amazing just talking to you, sir. I mean, it's I can't express how much respect I have for you, and it's just it's an honor to talk to you.
Well, thank you.
It's really cool. And
yeah,
cool. Yeah, it's just something, you know, it's in this time, it's so beautiful that something like this is possible. It's just amazing. I have no words for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is special. I mean, considering the situation, it allows us all to still connect and be together, you know, which is really special. So, I mean, we're all from all different parts of the world, you know, right now, and we're all here together, you know, sharing this moment.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, cool. Well, we got Ralph and Liberty and Ben. You guys want to say hello?
Yeah. I am Ben.
Hello. Howard, can you see everybody in this group right now, or what do you see?
No, I see three of you. I see Ronald and me, and I see
All right, well,
Donnie,
I'm gonna.
but that's all I can see.
Little iPhones. All right, well, I'm gonna put Liberty on the screen for you. You should be able to see her, so you can say hi. Let's see. Can you see Liberty?
There, I see her. Hi, Liberty.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, everything's fine. I miss you.
I know, I really miss you. I need to call you so we can have a long chat and just catch up.
Well, one of the things I like about you, besides the fact that you're a beautiful young lady, is that you have a good sense of humor.
For you to be around you, I have to have a wonderful sense of humor.
Well, that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I still have the truck. Howard told me that when I came and visited him, if I drove my truck, I had to park it around the corner so his neighbors would not see it and be horrified.
Well, the way she described it, it wouldn't help. It wouldn't enhance my reputation if people saw it in my driveway.
Nice. I love it.
I love it.
It's good stuff.
But are you working steady now, Liberty?
Yeah, it's pretty. Construction's gone up, so there's lots of
good.
work.
That's great.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So we're gonna do one more person, bring in one more person to ask some more questions. So everybody from the team, why don't you give a quick shout out to Howard?
Bye, Howard.
Goodbye, Liberty.
Bye, Howard.
Goodbye.
Bye, Howard.
All right, and there's Ralph.
And there's Ben.
Can you see Ralph, Howard?
No.
All right, I'll put Ralph on there for you so you can say hi.
I got him. Hi, Ralph.
Hi, Howard. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm hanging in there pretty good.
You enjoying this?
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm really surprised at the people we got to talk to from around the world.
That's the cool thing about it.
It is very cool.
When I asked Howard if he would do this, at first he was like, just much like when I asked him to go to Europe with us, he was just like, I don't know if that's for me. And I'm like, come on, Howard. He always needs a little bit of coaxing. And so let me try to talk him into it. He's like, I don't have a camera on my computer. And I'm like, well, someone does.
Now I can see you. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, sweetie. Yeah. He's not the easiest guy to talk into things.
I know.
Yeah.
Funny.
Awesome.
All right. Well, let's see.
We have
Howard.
Ben.
This is Ben here. He's our new team member. He's our medic. Our new team medic.
Hey, that sounds like something worthwhile.
See me, Howard?
Hi, Ben.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
What are you going on 40 now? 41 years old, or how old are you?
Yeah, a shade more than that.
Oh, okay. Well, so you're down in California, huh?
I am. Yeah, I live in Ventura, right on the ocean. A great place to live.
Well, I'm up in Northern California. I'm up in the Mount Shasta area, if you know where that's at.
Oh, for years when I was younger, I had a ski boat and I went to Shasta Lake every year.
Oh boy. Well, if I'm ever in the area and you ever fancy a cup of coffee or something stronger, you let me know, or I'll touch base with you and we'll get it.
I drink coffee all day long, so stop by.
All righty. Nice to meet you, Howard.
You too.
All right.
No,
Cool.
it's wonderful. So Ben joined our team this year and really excited. Unfortunately, Not a lot of good luck after having to cancel 6 programs this year.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, we'll just keep moving forward, and you know, we'll all be back together once again soon.
Yeah, we live with what we have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Well, if everyone wants to pop off, say goodbye real quick, we'll
could I
bring in one more question.
Look, there's an old saying, leave them laughing. So is it okay if I tell you a joke?
Of course.
Oh, we love jokes.
Remember, there's kids watching.
There was a young couple that went together for a long while, and they got married. And in the course of events, they had a daughter. And they lived in a 2-story house. The father got in the habit of taking a young girl upstairs every night, put her in bed, tuck her in, and listen to her prayers. And so he done this, you know, he did this for 2 or 3, 4 years, I don't know. And one night the little girl finished her prayers, and then she said, "Goodbye, Melody." And the guy thought that was strange because they had a cat named Melody, but the next day Melody died. And he thought, well, God, that was really strange. And till a few months later, she finished her prayers and she said, "Goodbye, Barney." And the next day their dog Barney died. And he thought now he was really noticed it, but he didn't say anything to his wife. So a few months went by and she said, after her prayer, she said, "Goodbye, Grandpa." And by God, the next day her grandfather died. So now this guy's aware of this. So a few months more go by and she says, "Goodbye, Daddy." And this scared the hell out of him. He didn't sleep at night. He got up early in the morning, went to work before the traffic got heavy. He didn't want to get in a wreck. And he's sitting in his office at noon, and his wife calls and she says, "Honey, I've got bad news for you. Your brother died."
He's so bad.
Oh, man.
That one took me a while to catch on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids. You'll get it someday.
Thanks for staying you, Howard. Thanks for staying you.
Hey, listen, it's been fun. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus.
Well, I think that's as good a place as any to end.
All right, so long, guys.
All right, we've been going for 2 hours here. So
2 hours.
Bye,
the longest one we've ever
Goodbye,
done.
Catherine.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll bid adieu to everyone. Thanks for joining in. Those who didn't make it, definitely sorry. We'll get you next time, but we're going to keep doing these as long as people keep watching, as long as we got guys to talk to. So,
been fun.
On that note, we'll say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Take care, all. Take care, all.
All right, Howard. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, bye.